Nath Swerve, today is the 1st of June 2020. You are a guest in Honkler Hangout. My name is Yoshi Livo, streaming 20 miles out of Lieberland. We are doing a special marathon stream today. We are trying to reach 24 hours of live stream in one day, basically, because there's 24 hours in one day, as far as I know. And we have been talking over the past couple of months. My stream started on the 3rd of March, was my first time that I went live, and because of the tip bitcoin.cash tip bot, which is highly responsible developer team of that app, are highly responsible for this 24-hour stream. And it got me more into the world of Bitcoin Cash, and you are running the SLP token Renew.cash. And when I looked into Bitcoin Cash and all of its tokens, you stood out. Basically, we got into contact, we started to talk. You have been a very positive guy with a great mindset and very helpful to everything that I've been doing. I already wanted to invite you sooner, I didn't get to do it, and now you are here on the 24-hour stream. So very welcome to you as well, of course, just like all the other guests we're seeing today. But for now, we are going to focus on Renew Cash for the next, well, let's see how long we can talk about it. Ned, can you tell me a little bit more about Renew Cash and all the things that you want to achieve with it?
Yeah, first, thanks Yoshi for having me on. I've been following you guy for a little bit now. I'm enjoying what you're doing. It's nice to see you growing as well. You've got a little bit more. I remember the days when you had like sort of 1 or 2 on the stream, and now you've got sometimes 20, 25. I think it's hovering about 15, 18 as your average.
We just had a new follower. Thank you, cryptobro4 for joining. Maybe you want to see the password. This is the password of the upcoming poker tournament. Sorry for that, Ned. All these things happening.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, mate.
So we do.
I haven't got my Corona with me though, but I've got a few other things to crack open as we progress on. All right.
Oh,
so
this is
nice local beer.
All right. So Renew Cash, I've been looking into it. You are proposing a refund, basically, if people are willing to change their energy source to renewable energy. Is that correct?
Yeah. To give you a bit of background about my involvement in renewable energy. So I've been in renewable energy for quite a few years now. We buy and sell solar assets here in the UK. We manage a few of them as well. We decided to eventually put a reward-based system in place for anyone who creates any kind of renewable energy. So that can be so anyone who creates renewable energy qualifies, as long as we can verify their source of energy, they qualify for renewable cash tokens. To give an example, it could be a solar panel system on a home, it could be a solar panel farm, it could be a hydro plant, it could be a wind farm, it could be a single wind turbine on someone's home. We're not bothered what sort of type of renewable energy it is, how big it is, how small it is. We're here to reward 1 renewable cash token per 1 watt of renewable energy that's installed. The idea was born out of, in the UK, just to give you a bit of background, there is a renewable incentive which is paid out by the government, which started in 2010. In 2010, 2012, a lot of renewable installations happened throughout the UK and Europe. The government were incentivizing this and paying a fee to all of the energy exported back to the national grid. The government, I don't know if they were surprised or they were shocked at the number of installations, especially within solar in the UK, that actually happened. Coming into sort of 2015, they started to reduce that incentive. The government decided to squeeze that incentive down and down and down and down until where we are now in 2019, when they completely cut it off. So there's no government incentive at the moment for the UK for a general domestic property to have renewable energy on their property. There are a few little things for large institutions, but for the average person, there is no incentive. So we decided to replace that incentive with the renewable cash token.
Cool.
So hence the reward. We want the reward to become at a later date. We're still in a sort of beta stage, but we want the reward to become a means of payment eventually through Bitcoin Cash on the Bitcoin Cash platform. So the holy goal for us is if we can get renewable cash accepted anywhere that Bitcoin Cash is accepted, then we've achieved our mission. Um,
All right.
so we're the main utility at the moment, Josh, is that we are a reward based points system, rewarding the tokens. We minted 10 billion tokens. We're trying to get that down to burn that down to 9 billion. There's 4.8 billion tokens that are going to be purely allocated towards renewable energy producers. So that's 4.8 gigawatts of renewable energy will receive a token over the next 5 years. What they do with that token's up to them. We try and bring on board energy companies, whether we can reduce people's electricity bills by having partnerships or discounts, anything like that. Adding value to those that receive the coin is the most important thing. And Bitcoin Cash, what I like about it is it's cheap, fast, and reliable. It works.
Yeah,
Um,
I can agree on that. That is very clear to me as well. Very, I am living without a bank account since 2014. I don't know if I ever told you that.
yes, that's great. That's
I wrote,
fantastic.
yeah, well, it's not completely voluntary. I mean, it was more like the bank shut me out, cut me off. But so I do all my transactions with crypto, and one of the problems is that it's very, very pricey to move around Bitcoin. I make I talk about that in my videos very often when I do a Bitcoin core transaction, especially when it's an amount below $500. You really ask yourself, like, is this the money that I want to use for the rest of my life? Especially taking into consideration that who's using Bitcoin today to pay anything, right? Nobody. So what if we want to take over the world and want to break free from the slavery of fiat, all these popular terms and everything, freedom and stuff like that. We can't if we are gonna use Bitcoin. That's my personal opinion. I also don't believe in the Lightning Network so much. It is a third party that you need to start to trust. So
Yeah,
yeah, I've not really been very active in Bitcoin Cash, but it does make more sense the more I look into it.
yeah,
Also, Bitcoin Cash, by the way, is not going to be enough. That is my personal opinion. The world economy is simply too complicated. But uh, Bitcoin Cash does have um, well, let's say it like this: they want to grow, right? They want to grow the network capacity that they can handle and stuff like that. So for now, I can move my Bitcoin Cash, which is basically accepted everywhere where you can spend Bitcoin Core. Um, we have just seen a video of Roger Ver of a vending machine that doesn't even accept
yeah.
Bitcoin Core because of the fees.
But that makes
So
sense for the vendor owner as well.
yeah,
Why would they want to have a product on there that is going to cost £4 or $4 or $2 to transact,
if you sell Snickers.
and maybe and maybe not confirm for 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So I get the reason why you went with a Bitcoin Cash token. The problem
We
today,
almost went with Ethereum back in 2017. So that gives you an idea on how long we've been thinking about launching this particular product. Yeah.
yeah. So in the meantime, Vladi88616 has joined the stream. Welcome, Vladi. Make
Welcome.
sh- make sure to participate in the raffle by writing exclamation mark raffle. Um, So almost a Ethereum token. Well, you must be happy today because the price of sending Ethereum is about to be equal to Bitcoin Core. It's
Yeah.
just as soon as it becomes really popular, and that's something that I believe one day might happen with Bitcoin Cash as well. Because what if the world is really gonna use it, right? I mean, we are using it today, and I know that, and I have a lot
Yeah.
of fun using it today. But what if the world's really gonna use it, and how will it go then? But there is one question that I have to ask. I've been watching Planet of the Humans, and there is a lot of discussion about that entire documentary. How legitimate it is if you are using um, uh, 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 videos of 25 years ago, etc., etc. But I have to ask you, what do you count for renewable energy? What is renewable energy to you? Is that a efficient solar panel? Can it be biomass that they are burning up? What kind of trees do you accept as biomass? Questions like that. How do you
It's yeah, it's all about the installed capacity. It's about it's you know at the end of the day we're not here to save the planet. I don't think anyone's going to be saving the planet by doing any kind of renewable energy. I think you've got renewable energy producers. They are a different kind of person. You get two reasons that people would go down the renewable energy route.
yeah,
Um, they're either doing it for the income, so therefore the generation, the incentive, the government incentives to actually have renewable energy sources, or they're doing it because they're trying to save the planet. Yeah.
mhm,
But what I found is I would say that 80 to 90% of people that are actually involved in renewable energy, whether that is solar, that is wind, hydro, biomass, they're doing it purely for the income. Where you benefit is you get reduced electricity bills. That's what I like about it. There is a money saving there. The incentive, though, at the moment for any kind of new renewable energy sources, especially here in the UK, the incentive is not necessarily there on smaller scale type of renewable energy. On larger scale, there is. But what was your just going back to your question? Are you saying what does renewable energy mean to me, or are you saying what do I like about renewable energy, or
no, it's more
um,
like what will qualify for you, because
oh right, okay.
imagine a one of the things in the meantime, I'm gonna thank Mandrake TW for joining the stream, which I saw quite recently, so that's the reason why I'm bringing it up. That just says, can you call something renewable energy if you have to put in more energy than you take out, for example, right? You can get energy from all kind of ways, but if that means that you still have to burn traditional energy to get to that renewable energy, then how renewable is that energy, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think we're talking about here how much of a scam is renewable energy. I've seen lots of things that I would consider unethical, even within the renewable energy space. Especially from an investment point of view, a lot of investment firms are only interested in the income that's generated from the renewable energy. Yeah,
Mhm.
um,
And go
and I
after
think
these government gifts,
yeah,
for
exactly.
example.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. If you have, let's say, an average four-bedroom house in the UK right now, if you have 16 solar panels on your roof, which is a 4 kilowatt system,
Hmm.
just to give you an idea, if you had that installed around about 2010 to 2012, the income on that is around about £2,000 average a year to the homeowner. So the homeowner is receiving a payment every quarter from its energy company. Yeah.
Yeah.
These incentives, this is the reason why a lot of people do it. So they might have spent £15,000 on their solar system, but they've had it installed on their roofs now for like maybe 8 years. They've already had their investment back on the outlay. So the outlay of £15,000 to get it onto the roof has now been paid back by the government's incentive. At the same time, they've also been saving maybe 30 to 40%, depends on how much they use on their electricity, but they've actually been saving 30 to 40% on their electricity bills. So if you're paying £100 a month for your electricity, you may only be paying £60 as opposed to your neighbour next door who hasn't got solar panels on the roof, they're paying £100. So there is a double incentive. The double incentive is you get a reduced electricity bill, but you also get a government grant as well that comes into you. But like I said, that government grant has been capped
Oh,
almost overnight.
oh.
Thousands of companies. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you had a small breakup, but you're back.
All right, yeah. Thousands of companies went out of business back in sort of 2014 right through to 2019. Again, that's where the idea of the renewable cash token as a reset incentive that replaces that. But we want that to be no matter where you are. I mean, we've got over 1,700 users right now that have our token that are onboarded. And that's quite impressive, really, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. I mean, we're ahead of schedule on that, but we need to roll out. I mean, we're still in beta stage. We haven't rolled out all of our features. We're still trying to work out what those features look like. But there's no point giving someone a token with them not being able to use it at a later stage. You can talk about being listed on an exchange. There's possibilities of that happening as well. But for us, it's about giving that value and turning that renewable cash token into value going forward. But if you think about how important, just talking about tokens in general, not just our token, but if you look at tokens in general, what that actually does to the ecosystem of Bitcoin Cash, that's one of the most important things, is that I think the tokens on Bitcoin Cash are one of the biggest opportunities for Bitcoin Cash growth and scalability. And I'll tell you why this is the case, because at the moment, trying to get someone to buy Bitcoin or even Bitcoin Cash, you've always got that boundary there. Yeah. If we have enough tokens in the system that have actually got good real use cases, we take the renewable cash as example, is that we allowing access to people that have never used Bitcoin before. We are onboarding people that have never had crypto before, never even known about Bitcoin. And then we've also got people that know about Bitcoin, didn't understand how it works. Then you've got people that didn't even understand how Bitcoin Cash works, the fork off of Bitcoin. So all those things, we're actually bringing new people to the ecosystem. And what happens then, we've got token holders. We may have a token holder out in India who's got a big solar system. We might have someone in America. These individuals have never had Bitcoin Cash before. All of a sudden, they're going down the rabbit hole. Yeah. That's the play that I think. We need to not look. We need,
with their real world thing that they are already doing.
That's it. It's already there. They're in there thinking, okay, I'm already got solar. I'm already generating wind energy. Yeah. You're telling me there's another reward for this. Yeah. You can always go down the air miles thing. Points for air miles. It's a very similar concept. But what it does for the Bitcoin Cash community is it actually brings on board new people. I don't think a lot of the tokens are doing enough of that at the moment. There's a lot of tokens that are specifically only for the Bitcoin Cash community. So therefore, we got the Bitcoin Cash, we got token rewards sitting still inside the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem. We need tokens that are tapping into other markets.
I get you. Honk is not doing that. I can tell you that.
I mean, I like Honk. I like Honk, what they've done. I mean, I think Keith has done a great marketing effort. Again, it's sort of tapped into the market that's within Bitcoin Cash. Do that with its betting ideas, its gambling sites, sports betting and prediction markets and so on. But yeah, you've got to look outside the Bitcoin Cash community, and I think the projects that actually can onboard new people to crypto in general, it doesn't really, if they're getting onboarded to Bitcoin or they're getting onboarded to Ethereum. The idea is that eventually people do their own homework, don't they, and then they find out what projects work for them.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned, Ned, that you have a company that conducts business regarding to renewable energy. Could you tell a little bit more about that? What kind of a company is that?
It's more about investment management. So managing the government grants that come in. We also like to buy assets, portfolios, and then sell them on. Which I suppose if we take an offshoot of that is that we're looking to do a spin-off token of Renewable Cash, which will enable even yourself, or it will enable anyone anywhere in the world to own a piece of renewable energy. So look out for that in the coming months.
So it's almost as if you're trading the CO2, the in the European Union, companies have to buy that in case they produce toxic fumes, how to call it, and the CO2 contracts. You know about that? But then the other way around.
You know about carbon credits, or
yeah, carbon credits. But then the other way around, for renewable energy credits, something like that.
Yeah, with all these government incentives, at the end of the day, we know that the government gives and then they take away.
Yeah.
The good thing about our project
before
is
they can
that
give, they actually they first take away and then they give.
Who knows the value of where our token can go? I think if we can onboard merchants where you can use it as a means of payment, I think that would add great value to our users, and two to the value of the token. So we are very focused behind the scenes on doing that, but our main focus at the moment is actually onboarding and rewarding renewable energy producers. once we've got enough of those on board, could you imagine if we did it the other way around? We actually onboarded all merchants and partners and said, look, come and let us offer a discount for your users and so on. We wouldn't, and they say, how many users have you got of your product? And we say we got zero. So what we're trying to do is get to that sort of plateau of where we think it's acceptable with the amount of users we've got. Then we can go to those merchants, offer the solution.
I like that way of thinking.
Products.
I like that way of thinking. It's been, I like the EFL coin. I am wearing it on my shirt still today. It's what I like to call.
I owe you a shirt. I owe you a shirt. I said I was going to deliver a shirt to you.
Well, it's plenty of time.
It will happen.
I didn't die yet, mate. Net. I didn't die yet, so we can get that done in the future. But what I always said to them as well is, let's first get a community, and then we have some leverage to go to any kind of a merchant. Because the thing is, there are different. Let's say EFL has a couple of, related projects, or actually like competitors, and they focus on the merchants, but they pay these merchants €500, for example, to accept this coin. And then what? Nobody is going to pay there because they don't have the community to spend money there. So
what chicken and egg?
Yeah, and I like the way how you think. First, get some people willing to spend those tokens, get those tokens out to those people so they can spend it. Then merchants will be much more eager to participate. I think you're right there. I think it's the right line of thinking.
I mean, we'd like to give away Bitcoin Cash for every single award as well. That's something that if we can sort of allocate some funding towards that, therefore we could, even if it's a few dollars worth of Bitcoin Cash, it means that when we're allocating the renewable cash tokens to energy producers, they're getting a small portion, a few bucks worth of Bitcoin Cash at the same time. And that's not necessarily so they can have some gas so they can move the tokens. That's purely just to give them some skin in the game.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Ned, are you participating in the next raffle? Because you can win some Bitcoin Cash there too,
Let's do that now.
Let's do it. We have a total of 9 participants this round. I wish good luck to all 9. I'm gonna pick one. Here we go. The winner of this round, CryptoPanda15. Congratulations. Let me write it down for you, CryptoPanda. CryptoPanda. I'm gonna spin the renewed raffle wheel. Time for another drink. I get I get another $1 in Bitcoin Cash. In the meantime, CryptoPanda wins 300 spice with a multiplier. Multiplier of 5 makes 1500, I believe. 300 times 5. 1500 spice. Not a bad price. Let me start a new raffle, and then I have to complete a drink because I was donated $1.
I notice you.
I need to give the people an incentive, Ned. Do you know that if I make it to the ultimate goal of tonight, that I'm gonna shave my head and my beard and my mustache, everything? I have.
I watched your pre-video, but what I noticed is you've actually got a haircut. If you notice by my hair, I haven't had a haircut for 2 months.
And
I'm normally pretty nice and trim on my haircut, but due to the lockdown and everything like that, it's very difficult. But I've actually got a haircut coming tomorrow on the black market, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah, well, really on the black market? No, the barbers here are open for like 2 weeks already. They here in Serbia, where I'm located now, I got my new visa last Friday, 3 days ago. I can stay another year. I'm very glad with that. And it's really, the longer I'm here, the better I understand the mindset of these people. And in the beginning, I couldn't really get my head around it, how they could accept what happens. But the way how they accept it is by putting themselves out of it in a way. It's really a universe. Serbia is surrounded by European Union, and they don't join, right? And the European Union gives them, for example, ambulances, and they talk about renewable energy with them. And I don't want to say anything bad about. Let me get that straight, but Serbia is really on its own in a way. It has its own thing, and I like it more and more every day, a little bit more, especially with all the COVID 1984 nonsense happening in the world today. I'm really glad to be able to live here for another year and hopefully a couple of years after
Yeah.
that as well. I think the pain that the world still has to process, Serbia processed 20 years ago when they lost the war and Yugoslavia fell apart and hyperinflation happened in this nation, and those people since then have adjusted to a new reality, which I believe especially people in the Netherlands are gonna have to somehow adjust to in the future, because well, the way how I see the world today, especially if you are talking about renewable energy, for example, uh, I have just written out a text, read out a text about 1 hour ago, and it goes into my view of the world. I call it Yoshi's vision. Basically, this is a developing story since 10 years when I quit my job as auditor for example, McDonald's companies, where I made sure that McDonald's didn't pay too much taxes. And that was my job before, right? And that and I thought that it
Yeah.
was right what I did, and still, I mean, taxation is theft. That's the way how I look at that. But the majority of people in Western nations don't see it like that, and they think they have the right to do things because they have the money for it. And the thing that I always, you know, yeah, you might be able to pay for a safari and shoot an elephant, right? But how expensive should an elephant become? We cannot print extra elephants. That's my point, right? We can print endless amounts of money, and it's not just elephants, but just in general, what we are doing to this planet at the moment is not sustainable, in my opinion. And I
No.
would
No.
love to
And
see us being more in line with the limitations of being or of
yeah.
living on one planet. We don't have 5 planets. We have one of it, and there is a
And
balance somewhere.
that's what I was saying about renewable energy is it's not going to save the planet. The trade-off there is, I mean, the scales are like that. There's renewable energy, and then there's fossil fuels and what they're doing to the earth. I mean, it's the imbalance is huge, huge.
Yeah. So, how do you see the future of renewable energy, Net? Is it going to be wind? Is it going to be solar? Is it going
It's
to
going to
be
be, yeah,
a
it's a
combination? Is it?
combination of all of them.
Do you
I mean,
call? Tell me that the only solution is nuclear. Nuclear. Could that ever be? If I create a small nuclear power plant for my home, is that renewable enough for you? I'm just. I
uh,
had a lot of drinks already today, so I get creative with asking questions.
it's not, yeah, it's not one of our renewable qualifying factors,
Okay, okay.
nuclear, but I think what's interesting about renewable energy is that it's about how it makes the individual feel that is actually going through the process of having renewable energy sources. Yeah, there is a feel good factor to it. You speak to a lot of people that actually generate renewable energy, and they do feel good about it. I'm talking about individuals. I'm not talking about corporations that use
Oh,
it as investments. But again, it's not gonna save the planet. It's literally offsetting. It's literally putting less strain of it on the national grid, things like that. But I
but it's
think
also the
if
consciousness of having,
yeah,
being
yeah,
conscient about your
it is.
energy consumption.
But they're not being rewarded enough. That's the point. You can get you can go and install some kind of renewable energy source. And I think the feel good factor of doing that, and maybe the monetary government income, which has been capped or which has been destroyed or taken away, if we can replace that for them. There was an interesting discussion a while back, a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about, I won't mention who it was, but someone quite well known within the Bitcoin Cash community. Um, they were talking about how great it would be if you had every single renewable energy creator actually mining a particular cryptocurrency directly
And
from
changing it
their
to renewable.
from their renewable energy system. So you could look at a solar system in someone's home. If we had some kind of hardware equipment attached to the solar system for every single watt that solar system produces, and then it would mine a particular, be traded on the open market, open and free market. It have to obviously be decentralized. Effectively, that person would never have to pay if it's geared up right. They would never have to pay for any kind of energy ever again from their energy companies. Because in the end of the day, everyone pays an energy company X amount of money, and we all know how corrupt energy companies are. Yeah, if we could try and work out a system that actually negates paying £100 per month to one of the big six, EDF, I don't know if you know Shell and all these companies. If we could try and avoid the homeowner actually being able to pay out their own pocket, if they could produce at home, mining the coin themselves directly from their renewable energy sources, they may never have to pay an electricity bill again. Yeah.
Yeah.
These options are all there. Blockchain enables this to do. I mean, it takes a lot of investment. There's a lot of cool ideas. I mean, the energy space is exciting as it is, but getting away from any kind of government involvement, third party involvement, energy companies, it would just be great if everyone sat at home and they just generated their own energy and mined it at home, and then it was sold on the free market. Options are endless, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking of myself now. I'm getting triggered by thinking of a way how to generate a new form of renewable energy, right? To simply reuse old energy. That's basically what you should do. And, or reuse the sunlight, which is already there. Reuse the wind.
Yeah, you're mining the sun. I mean, it's like one of my colleagues said to me. He said, why don't we just use the terminology? We're going to mine the sun.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I explained the cost involved to do that. He sort of took a sour face at that, but yeah, it's all possible. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. That is there something else you would like to share with us? Should we talk
Um,
about something that?
I think talking about Bitcoin Cash is probably one of the most important things about how that. I think that onboarding new people to Bitcoin Cash is very important. I did this the other day with a friend of mine. We sort of had a discussion, and he's quite big into sort of health products. He drinks a lot of maca powder and different things like that. And I said to him, I said, look, do you shop on Amazon? He said, yeah, I do shop on Amazon. I said, okay, great. Let's get you 15% off your maca powder. I said,
Yeah,
look, go and find some maca powder right now. And he said, I found some. I said, okay, right. Now download purse.io and we'll add that to your browser.
yeah,
So we added the purse.io. I transferred him, I think it was 10 to 15 pounds worth of Bitcoin Cash instantly to his bitcoin.com wallet, which took him 10 seconds to download. He instantly got 15% off of his order, and he's a big Amazon user.
yeah.
And if this always comes back down to the point of, if anyone ever says to you, there is no such thing as a use case for Bitcoin, there's no such use for crypto, you can't spend it anywhere. I mean, just ask anyone, say, do you shop on Amazon? Yes, I do. Well, okay, that's great.
Use that.
You can use that. Use this
Use the
download pass. Let's
purse.io.
get it attacked. Yeah, yeah. And not all
I
the
mean,
countries have
the
got
thing
that at
is,
the moment.
the thing is, net. Oh, I have to. Poker Assi 83. Welcome. You are probably here for the password. This is it. So I'm now located in Serbia. The people here, let's say, less than 50% of them has a bank account, right? Um, all payments to state and stuff like that. There is a daily line in the post office. People paying cash at the post office, and then they put it in the system and make it digital. So there is a lot of cash money still here. I mean, that is 90% of the economy is cash money, which personally I really like. But it takes a long time to explain these people crypto money, and I'm trying to do that here. I am, with the Liberland project, which helps because Liberland is all about blockchain, and people get it a little bit better, and you feel a little bit stronger if you can, for example, have a logo that more than just a couple of crypto nerds are,
Yeah.
for example, Ron Paul has the Liberland passport, right? That I have here, and that's how I think the Liberland Merit, which is also a SLP token, does bring a alternative, like you said, a alternative group of crypto or non-crypto users to blockchain a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to get these people to trust something that in theory they don't trust, because anything digital is yeah.
I think what we touched on earlier is that what you've got to do is you've got to tap into what that person's need is, because everyone's got different needs, everyone's got different interests.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about SLP tokens. Is that is that it's simple. If you can, sorry, my phone's.
It's okay, don't worry.
Is that yeah, if you can create new users, give them a reward for whatever they're doing. I think a lot of tokens should be looking at rewarding non crypto users. It's a perfect way to onboard people to new crypto. You might not get the hit rate. You might only get like 10 to 20% of everyone that you award a token to go down the rabbit hole. But the point is, the bigger the scale out of your product, the more people you're onboarding to Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah. I do have a question about that, but I also have a question in the stream. I'm gonna ask that one first. Crypto Panda 15 asks,
Hi, Crypto Panda. Yeah.
how do people sign up to renew? For example, how do they have to prove they are they are generating renewables?
Okay, so there's a form on the website. If you're producing renewable energy, fill in the form on the website.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you and we'll ask to verify it. There's various ways that we can look to verify that you are producing renewable energy. I'll be honest, we did have someone that passed our verification process. They very much sold it to us, and we awarded some tokens with them. That person immediately decided to sell those on Renewable.cash, and was only interested in getting hold of BTC. I'm not sure who that individual is, but there's an investigation gone into it, and the individual is not who they said they were. From a big corporation investment company in India. But I'm pleased that that flaw happened, because it's tightened up our verification process. Yeah, and we're still in beta stage, like I said, and we haven't rolled out. One of the things that we're going to roll out, and we're trying to work on that at the moment, is that how we can onboard anyone that owns Tesla solar roofs. So Tesla, the company, they've got a battery system, and they've also got a solar roof system. So the solar is actually built. It's actually, you buy the solar as it's all tiles built into the roof. So if we can work on a scheme that works specifically to reward those that have that, we can probably leverage up the Tesla audience in that way. So little things like that. We need to work on that, and we need to on board people that are specific markets, and I think Tesla's one of them. We've got a few energy companies in the UK that we can work with as well. Yeah, like I said, the most important thing is getting 4.8 billion of our tokens rewarded to the general public.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big task. 4.8 billion watts. How much is that? Gigawatts?
Gigawatts, yeah. So 4.8 billion tokens is 4.8 gigawatts of energy.
That's a lot. I'm not so familiar with how much a watt is. I know average light is 40, so that is the energy consumption per hour, I believe.
Yeah, but the best way to look at it is if you walk by someone's home. Have you ever seen solar panels on someone's home?
Yes.
Yeah, so if they've got an average size system like 16 panels or 12 panels, that's between 3 and 4 kilowatts. So that equals 3 to 4,000 of our tokens as a reward. Yeah. We're bringing in a staking feature as well, so we can actually stake the coin, so you get interest.
And now it gets interesting, because this is the question that I wanted to ask you. You mentioned we need to get non-crypto users onto Bitcoin Cash, and one of the things that I would like to build is a voting system, which is basically, let's call it a kind of delegated proof of stake token, if that is, if you get that. So a token which is a kind of a side chain, because the problem that I have with any Bitcoin fork or Bitcoin itself is that the 10-minute block reward is a bit too much for a vote, for example, because I would like to see that a little bit more fluid. For example, every 8 seconds, or something like that. So
Yeah,
you could
you're on
still.
about you want bigger blocks.
No, does it have to be? I was thinking that it could be like a Lightning network. Everybody that is running that token is running the blockchain of Bitcoin Cash, and on top of that is running the separate administration of the token, which is a delegated
Yeah,
proof of stake token. And then every 10 minutes, the updates of all the votes get into the Bitcoin Cash blocks, and that's done only once per 10 minutes. But the nodes that run this specific token update each other every 10 seconds. And that's how you don't really need a bigger block, because you just put more info within those 10 minutes. But yeah, I don't really have the knowledge to build such a thing, and
yeah,
I don't have the money to pay people for it. Or let me put it different, I'm not willing to spend it on that, because I think it will benefit enough people that, it could be
yeah.
useful for others as well. So
It sounds interesting. It's sort of out of my remit really on the technical side of things.
yeah,
I'm
that's the
I'm not a
problem
developer. You know, my my
that
my,
I
my
also have.
background is sales, business, and marketing. Maybe we could have some kind of developer on there. There's some good developers on Bitcoin Cash. I mean, the guys that created the Simple Ledger protocol, SLP tokens, they are some of the most amazing people. I mean, I've got to give them a good shout out. Really, the efforts that they put in to support the protocol. You know, if you went to a developer outside of the remit of Bitcoin Cash, you might be charged £500 to £1,000 per day for the work. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, you can go to one of the SLP developers on Bitcoin Cash, and you can discuss, have a discussion about one of the features that you might want to add. The feedback is straight there, straight away. The work is done straight away. You know, there is always a solution. This is a fantastic community. I mean, I was back. I was working in payments back in sort of 2008, 2011. We had a Mastercard product. We helped speaking of unbanked, we helped the unbanked. The government put us out of business in 2011 overnight. Yeah, they changed policy and wiped out our business, wiped out our customer base, everything like that. But working with developers in that space it has nothing compared to the Bitcoin Cash developers. They are literally out there to win. They want to see projects on Simple Ledger that actually physically work, and they will do and put in the hard graft behind the scenes. So really, it's just a big shout out to them. Really, the kudos that they bring to the table. It's a great community. It's a great community. I don't know any community
no,
that's better than this one.
absolutely. I will talk with. I have a couple of friends, and I call them big Bitcoin core maximalists. And everybody has opinion. I just think that any coin maximalist is falling short, basically. But um, I forgot what I wanted to say. I had too many drinks, Ned. Oh my goodness! And then I had a
What's the
couple of.
time? Was it 5:15 there? It's 4:15 here.
Yeah, it's 5:15. Yeah, yeah. I have a question from the stream. Maybe I should ask you that.
Yes, fire away.
And we're gonna let me first do a raffle. There is now 13 participants. You are a popular guy, Ned. You draw more people to my stream. 13 participants in the next raffle.
How many's on? How many are on stream total at the moment?
At the
What's
moment,
the
we have
what's
20
been
viewers
the
according my
most you've had today?
according to my counter. We have a total of 20 viewers watching live right now, and I can
All right, okay.
welcome Steve O45 to the stream. He has just joined us. Welcome, Steve O. My record, just to let you know, my record of participants in a single raffle is on 15. In case we break or equal that record, I'm gonna double the
Right.
prize. So we are almost there. We are almost there. But first,
Let's see if let me just put a message out, then let's see if we can get that up
yeah, it's
for
already
the next
going
one. Yeah.
wild today. I'm very happy. We have I don't know how many people, but I must have over 10 new followers, which I think it's great. Poker Assi 83, you have just won the next raffle. Congratulations. Let me write it down. In case you are new, because Poker Assi is actually new, he joined only 11 minutes ago. Please send me the address of the token or coin that you win in a Twitch whisper, and I send out all the prizes manually. Here we go, Poker AC83. I'm gonna spin the wheel for you. And welcome GK Slow 15. 3 Liberland merits for Poker AC83 with a multiplier of 2 makes
10.
a total of 6 Liberland merits. Now, before I'm gonna ask that question of the community, I'm gonna get myself a new Corona because I'm out. So give me 1 second. I'll run. I'll make it quick. Alright, back again. 1 Corona per day keeps my doctor away.
Yeah, I was thinking about your idea for the T-shirt that I'm going to get you, and I think it would be a cool T-shirt to have. You know, renewable cash, only 20 minutes outside, 20 miles outside of Leverland.
Yeah. If you make me such a t-shirt, look, I don't know if you can see it. This is my t-shirt now. This is the normal height logo. If you make any logos, make sure to put it high on the shoulder or near the neck because that works best. Let's just say it like that.
You're starting to turn into a sponsorship machine.
Yeah. Well, we will see about it. I'm not here to make a lot of money.
Is Crypto Bro coming on? Is he? Is Crypto Bro coming on? He's an admin.
Yeah.
We got a couple of admins in the Telegram channel. Speaking of Telegram, I mean, Telegram is one of those wild places. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I learn every day as well. I already
But
have my fair share of negativity on Telegram.
they make up a it's a smaller percentage, but they make up a percentage of our users. And I think what we've tried to do with our Telegram group is we've tried to educate people. The last thing we want people doing is just being there to ask for tips, get tokens. So that we've created the faucet where people can buy into the private faucet. We'll do blitz rounds. We'll instruct them on how to withdraw their tokens from the bot straight into their private wallet. We're very focused on education. There's no point in distributing this as not educating people exactly what they got to do with it. Yeah, there's too much of that out there. So education is one of our important things.
Net, the question now almost exited my screen. Wait a second. I have to get it back here. The question came from. Let me find it. Steve-O45 asked the question. No, that was not the question. Oh my goodness. There was a question here.
I know someone called Steve. I'm wondering if it's him.
Crypto Ninja Poker was a Steve-O also asked the question, but he asked for the password of the poker tournament. But Crypto Ninja Poker asked, what do you think is better, sun, wind, or wave, or some other form of renewable energy? Do you
Well,
have a
if you look,
preference, Ned?
no, I don't have a preference. Solar's pretty cool. You know, you're harnessing the sun's power and then converting it AC/DC. Yeah, you're converting it. That's pretty cool. But the biggest which is hydro. So hydro power. So water flow. That's the biggest in the world at the moment.
When it goes up and down.
Yeah, so the water's going to flow. And at the end of the day, you just create an energy from water flow. And then where does all this energy go? That's the thing. Not a lot of people know this. It all goes back to the grid. Yeah, and then the energy, and then the grid pay the subsidies. Sometimes it's backed by the government. Sometimes it's not. So when you hear of even if you ever seen solar farms, where there's like fields of solar, or there's been fields of of wind farms. People think, okay, that's where I'm getting all my power from. Yeah. So there's a misconception there in the market where an individual that lives literally next to a solar farm, or they might live next to a big wind turbine farm, they think that they're getting their energy from that particular source. No, it's not. It's literally getting fed back to the grid, and the energy company is paying for it. Yeah. So all it's doing is putting less of a strain on the national grid, whatever country that is.
About crypto, bro, I did have 2 missed calls from somebody
Yeah,
that.
he's trying to interrupt. That's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah,
I
I'm
can
just
I
gonna.
can add him to this chat. It's just
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
that'd be
doesn't have
great.
a proper account name, so that's a little bit difficult. But let me see if I can add him to our chat here.
I'm in a futures trade at the moment on the German DAX.
All
I
right.
don't know if you know, I don't know if you know much about that, but goodness me, is there manipulation going on in equities markets at the moment? Um,
I don't know if he's online with us now, but we have CryptoBot Trading, who is running a basically scalping stream. He is showing his trades live on the stream, and he told me last week, I have my money ready to short the DEX. So I don't know if that's what you're
well,
doing right now.
yeah, no, I've got a hedge position. I'm short and long on the DAX at the moment. I mean, this is the point: is that the Federal Reserves and the central banks are printing money left, right, and centre. The world economy at the moment, unemployment's at its highest. You've got riots. I mean, the perfect storm for things that are literally going wrong, and yet the stock market S&P 500 still climbing up. Where's it going to end? The manipulation it's being propped up. Yoshi, it's been propped up.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is that the majority of people still like to believe the narrative of the mainstream media. So who
Oh, of
knows?
course they do.
Maybe
Yeah.
for the next 18 months we will be deflationary, actually. Um, okay, that is not specifically to crypto coins and stocks. But if everybody's gonna think that if nobody's gonna make money, let's say it like that, except for the newly created money, um, I can see how prices and everything can stall for another 18 months. At 2 o'clock I had a guest. His name was Martijn Houttuin. Martijn Houttuin.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a
Yeah,
bit of that.
yeah. So he also says this could last before we really go up with in this inflationary cycle. We could spend 18 months believing the fact that the dollar will get stronger for 18 months until the bubble finally pops. So it's all about trust, right? It's about whether or not the financial markets trust.
But
What do you say?
all the time, the financial markets are controlled by institutions.
Somebody called again.
Oh, is that crypto, bro? Is it?
This is Crypto Bro, but the problem now is that I cannot accept him without putting you on hold. So let me wait it one more second.
Can you bring a third person in? Is that what you...
I can, but not in this chat. Let me try and add him. The problem is he doesn't have a real here. This is the one that I want. No, I was too late. He doesn't have a real account on Skype, right? He has this anonymous account, so I cannot invite him because he doesn't have a name, basically.
Have you been to the UK?
Well, when I was smaller, yeah, but it's a couple of years ago, like over 10 years. Let me check it once more. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to accept his next phone call, and then I'm gonna add you to that phone call because you do have a name. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Do what you got to do.
let me check it. I'm now searching. My computer is slow as well. That doesn't help a lot. I hope it's not gonna crash. Oh, we'll see. I'm stuck now in my search screen. Uh-huh. Here it is. Here it is.
What a lovely day.
Oh, it is for sure. Yeah, I start to regret that I'm streaming today. I am trying to add him to our conversation. Let's see if that works. Not yet. But maybe it's coming in late. We should get him in. Cryptobro is a very active follower of the stream, basically since the first minute he has been part
That's
of
good.
it. And then he told me one day, I am now administrator of Renew.cash. So that's cool. I try to add
He's on a different time zone to us in the States, so it's a good overlap.
Yeah, you need people all over the planet. That's how it is. Oh, I'm adding him now, I believe.
Hello.
Hey.
There he is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm okay. Let's see what's happening here.
Woo.
If I can add you as a, I need to add an extra source now. Give me a second,
Okay.
Cryptobro.
Yeah.
This is the first time I have a manage à trois.
You got a three-way going here, Yoshi. How do you feel?
Going. Yeah, the more the merrier.
What's up, Nath? How you doing?
I'm doing so far so good.
Cool, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to finally talk, Nath. We've been talking online for a long time and finally get to talk in person now.
It's good to have an American accent on the show, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't realize you guys. I knew you were from UK, but I didn't know who else in the Renew chat was from UK or any other admins are from UK. I'm not sure who those people are, but we get along good in the Telegram chat over there.
Yeah. It's focused on education. I was saying, Josh, earlier on, it's focused on education. It's not just a load of unnecessary talk or people begging for tokens, a situation like that. We try to keep it. To be honest, the whole community there is very supportive. They're very polite. There's no one there. I've seen a lot of few of the other chats, and a lot of them are going wild or abusive or whatever. We seem to avoid that.
Yeah, we're more business-like. We're more professional. We're more nice and friendly. It's not the crazy SLP chaos that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cryptobro, can it be that you don't have a camera?
I do have a camera.
I can see Cryptobro.
Really?
Yeah, I can see him. You can see me, yeah? You see me?
Yeah, I see you, yeah. Whenever you guys talk, I see you guys switching.
Cool. Okay, look, yeah, let me send you a photo on, this is what I see.
I see Yoshi too. Let me send a photo.
I'll send it on the Telegram.
It's probably my settings. It's the first time I'm setting it up. I didn't check it properly.
I'll add it in your hangout.
It's I'm an amateur, guys. Let's call it like.
It's all good, Yoshi. You've only been streaming for like 6 months, is it?
More like 3, but.
It's all good.
No, I don't have.
People don't need to see my face, do they?
I don't have that many chats, and especially not with 3 people.
It's good, yeah. I mean, let's get another 4 on.
Yeah, we'll get the quad screen going.
Yeah, I need to build a new overlay actually to get that down.
Yeah.
Hey, so Nate, I have a question about the Zapit partnership.
Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. What kind of plans did you guys have coming down the pipe, or is that like roadmap stuff, or?
It's private.
It's private.
Yeah. No, the guys at Zapit are brilliant. Romit is, his thinking is brilliant. It's just always about the end user, yeah. And I think we were talking about this earlier on, me and Yoshi. We were talking about sometimes staying in the actual community and the ecosystem is not necessarily good for growth, yeah. These guys are attacking a new market. They're attacking actual payment transfers. Yeah. And then rewarding people in Bitcoin Cash, tokens on Bitcoin Cash, and so on. I think that they all they're thinking about is that what the end user is going to experience. Yeah. We come up with an idea.
Part too, you know?
Say again.
That's the most important part. Making sure the users can use easily and quickly.
It is, but I mean, fortunately for Zapit, a lot of the I'm not, it's not talking about a lot of the other wallets, but a lot of the developments that happen, people are still Bitcoin Cash. Community focused inside the ecosystem. Yeah, you've got to expand. You've got to think about how do we bring new people into this, and we've got to appeal to them. Zapit are going to do that. I do believe. I think if we get some funding behind it as well, and then push for it. But yeah, I mean, what plans have we got? I mean, hopefully we can get to the point where Renewable Cash is converted into Bitcoin Cash at point of sale through the app. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
So
where you can just pay with it in the app using.
Yeah. So therefore, yeah. So if you go to, I mean, in the UK, there's not many places that you can accept Bitcoin Cash, but it's just assumed that you go to Burger King, similar to what you can do with Go Crypto. Yeah. If we can onboard merchants that accept Bitcoin Cash and we pay through the app on Zapit, they've got a choice of do they pay with Renewable Cash tokens or any other token. But the idea is that you don't want to be going and tell Burger King. We use Burger King as an example, or Starbucks. We don't want to be saying to Starbucks, why don't you accept Renewable Cash tokens? We want them to accept Bitcoin Cash. So the back end side of it, what we want is that we want the Renewable Cash token to be converted organically at point of sale into Bitcoin Cash. So from the idea of the actual end user point of view, they think that they're spending some of their tokens alongside Bitcoin Cash. And the merchant, they're just accepting Bitcoin Cash. We don't want to be going down and say, do you want to accept Honk, Spice token? Renewable Cash is too complicated. So Romit's got some ideas on how that can be done. So that's in real person at point of sale. What great is if we can also online as well, yeah? Gateways. That's where the future is, I think. I think if we can give people the tokens, give them a means to actually spend it, but not remotely as our token only. It's got to be Bitcoin Cash at the fore.
Well, since the SLP tokens run on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, I'm sure there's a payment gateway QR code you can make, or there might be, I don't know, where you can just have them pay it with any token and it gets converted, like you're saying, atomic swap or anything like that into Bcash, Bitcoin Cash, and then the merchant gets paid. You know, that seems like it could be feasible.
Yeah, I mean, where do you pull the value of the token from? Where do you pull the liquidity from? Where do you get the exchange from? And that's one of the focuses that we've got to be on is getting listed on an exchange that actually adds that liquidity to the
market price to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, there's got to be a buy and a sell order somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got. Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go. You go.
I was just going to ask more about CryptoPro4.
Yeah, I love Cryptopro4. I think they're brilliant. I've been using them since pretty much day one.
They're great.
They've got some interesting things coming out soon. I don't know if they appreciate everyone talking about it, but they've got a new exchange that's more decentralized. I say decentralized. It's more of a different feel to what Cryptofield's got. I know that they're fellow UK guys, so they've got FCA regulations right up their arsehole. Mm-hmm. So maybe moving on, offshore and so on, and moving into different regulations helps them. But from what I understand, I think that where they're so SLP focused, it makes sense for us to explore that opportunity later on down the line. Okay. There is another big exchange that we want to be listed on, and we already had discussions with them. I won't go into exactly who they are. I can talk to you about that in private. Okay. But yeah, we will be listed on an exchange. That's the focus.
Okay, sweet. How about the roadmap for? Go ahead, Yoshi.
if you just have the Memo.cash trades, there is no order in that. So I can buy tokens that are listed 10 times the price, and it should go in the chronological order. If you want to buy, you need to buy the cheapest one first. And
You,
that is what
you,
Memo.cash is not. It's not an exchange, it's a marketplace, right?
it's a marketplace. Yeah, it's a peer-to-peer scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's clunky. It's not got a great user experience. The user interface, everything like that. To be honest, I'm quite surprised at how many trades that we've had on Memo. I think it's, or Memo, however you want to say it. But we're over 100. I think we're one of the top traded tokens.
Oh yeah,
Sure, yeah.
On there, I think we're hovering around the 200, 250. Target price, we want to be able to get this thing to like 1 cent. Where it goes from there, I don't know. But we need to add that value to the end user.
1 cent.
That we are so focused on that, but it's a long slog. It's not going to be an easy run. Yeah,
It's only $100 million company.
Yeah.
So it's not out of reach, you know. That's not crazy to think of, especially with a renewable energy token. That's
Yeah.
totally possible for a company to get into the 100 millions of revenue.
Yeah.
And right now, there's been 196 trades on Memo for Renew.
Yeah, which is not bad. I mean, if you look at
it's the top 5 token on Renew on Memo.
And if you look at how many users we've got address wise, when we know how many users we've got that have actually claimed for renewable energy. But if you look at how many wallets we've got out there, I think we're ranked number 7 now out of 8,000. Is it 8,000 tokens or 7,500 tokens?
Wow.
And we are creeping up to just over 3,000 transactions on Bitcoin Cash now, which places us in it about 14th. So users, the growth has been like that. I think people forget behind the scenes is that we are onboarding non-crypto related users, and we are rewarding people that have got renewable energy. So once we get to scaling that out properly, we do go Google pay-per-click adverts as well, so that people know about our reward system. So we'll invest a bit of money into that as well. But going back, what was you just said a minute ago? Crypto, bro?
Oh, just how many transactions we had, or how many people were on Memo. Yeah,
I mean that's quite interesting. That obviously people are pleased with what we've done so far. That's what I would say. And this thing, okay, maybe hold on to it. As a project founder, you do sit there and think you've got to deliver something to them very quickly, yeah, because you don't want people holding on to something for too long and then they're not seeing any use case. So there is that little bit of pressure, but it's like you can't beat a bit of pressure to deliver.
And you got to just follow your roadmap. As long as you're following your roadmap and doing things you're doing, and I can tell you are, because me and you talk behind the scenes, and I know what's going on. But it's the community should not be worrying about you getting work done, because you're definitely getting work done behind the scenes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because you've got to manage other aspects as well. I think one of the things that, like I said to Yoshi earlier on, that we're looking at like a Tesla reward, and maybe tying up with other big companies and rewarding those individuals that are customers of those as well. So we get tapped into like thousands of customers at one point, and then rewarding them. We are manually processing all the rewards at the moment, and I think someone pointed out as to how do you verify it. It's all done manually at the moment. That will have to change at a later date. Maybe bring on more staff to manually change. So there will be a point when we've got people in an office that actually manually verifying. If we've got like 100 claims to verify in a week. But one of the things that I always like to bring up is that one of the reasons that we did this back in the day, apart from replacing government incentives, is to actually give a way that anyone anywhere in the world can actually own a piece of renewable energy. And that's where we're sort of going to bring on specific projects and mint a specific token, a native token to Renewable Cash that is specific to an energy related product.
Okay.
So if you imagine we've got we take a solar portfolio or a solar farm, we could say, look, okay, we're gonna put this solar farm or this solar project onto the blockchain, We're going to tokenize it. We're going to open it up for any other user around the world that wants to pay Bitcoin Cash. If they pay Bitcoin Cash to the value of that token, we'll give them the token. So every single bit of exported energy that comes back from the grid that we get paid for as a company, we distribute that out to them based upon the output of the solar system. So therefore, we've got to be careful because of security laws. But I'm one of those individuals that is saying, okay, let's just get on and do it. If we've got to restrict areas that can't invest in it, you will get a return. So that's the point. If you invest and crowdfund a solar project with us, and you invest Bitcoin Cash, and you get our token, we will pay you every quarter a Bitcoin Cash dividend. Yeah. So if you look at the this is the point. Is no one's willing to dip their toes into this, and I'll be quite aggressive with this. Is that if you look at all of the videos online of people talking about bearer shares and all that stuff, no one actually knows what that means. Who is saying it? And dividends and ownership, we can actually tokenize a real world asset right now. Yeah, we're ready to roll tomorrow. We could actually put X amount of asset onto Bitcoin Cash, and we can tokenize it tomorrow. Yeah, so we can give anyone you can be in India, Malaysia, America, Canada, Scotland. You could be anywhere, and you can own a specific piece of renewable energy.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a way to invest in renewable energy without having to have solar panels.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It makes no sense, or at least less sense to me, to be held back by the legislative world saying, hey,
correct,
you cannot do this because you are selling a security. No, we are selling renewable cash, and we are just administrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, the current laws in place, you have to be somebody that is willing to take such a risk. And if you look at now I can't figure out the right example, but how many people have already had trouble with cryptos because they created let's take Ethereum as the first of
Ethereum ICOs,
the ICOs, all of them, but also Ethereum itself. I mean, they almost arrested Vitalik for selling Ethereum in the way he
security,
did. Because he was selling a security. And how long are we gonna accept that rules like that are gonna limit our freedom? Somebody has to stand up for that. And
the rules in the.
If you're looking for somebody to take it on, I am Yoshi Livo from Liberland, so you can put everything on my name.
Yeah.
See, we have to stop worrying about the rules in the paper world. We got to worry about the rules in the crypto world now, because that's what we're trying to build up. So that's a whole different set of rules that we have to follow. So that's what we should be worrying on. Like, we're probably going to break some rules along the way, but that's what's going to happen when you build a brand new world, You're going to be fighting the old rules to build it.
We don't need to KYC anyone that buys a specific token. So if we mint 9,800 specific tokens to a solar project, that's 9,800 tokens, and if we raise £40,000 worth of Bitcoin Cash, okay, we don't need to ask who's paying that. We're just going to give them the token, and we're promising to that token holder that we're going to deliver 5 years worth of dividend payments every quarter, based upon the output of that solar panel. No one's doing that. No one's ready to put their balls on the line and say, we're just about to tokenize a real world asset. And yet it's one of those things that you hear everyone talking about. The reason that what you can do with tokens is you can tokenize a real world asset. Well, who's doing it?
Yeah, but the reason that they are not is because they are scared to get arrested.
And because how do they pay a dividend?
You pay your first dividend.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna bust your balls. I don't know.
So how do they pay dividends? That's why Bitcoin Cash is great, because they can pay the dividends to the person anonymously and not having to have them sign up to an account in their website or anything like that.
Yeah, of course, but that is exactly the problem for those legislators.
From our perspective, if we tokenize a specific, we say solar, we use that as an example. If we tokenize a solar specific project of 1 token represents 1 watt. What we're saying is that we are pitting 1 watt onto Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, that 1 watt, every time that there's an output back to the energy grid, we're going to pay the person who owns that token X amount per watt, but we're actually going to convert it into Bitcoin Cash and pay it back to them. We could also give them renewable cash tokens on top of that as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So there are ways that you can get around it rather than saying, okay, look, invest in this company, you're going to own 20% equity stake, and therefore here's your share certificate. We can get around that. People could look at it and go, is there an exit scam involved? If we donate £100 worth of Bitcoin Cash, are we ever going to see anything? That's true. But that's why we're not doing it right this second. Is because we want to build up an audience. We want to build up that trust with the community. Yeah.
Proof of concept.
Proof of concept. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the people that are going to invest in that or actually donate Bitcoin Cash and own a bit of all we're using is Bitcoin Cash as the tool to own a bit of renewable energy. But the community within Bitcoin Cash is strong, and the developers and the technical guys and the guys that keep everything alive, they're very supportive of any kind of development, and they want to see it all win. That's what we got on our side. Yeah. Whether they get involved and they want to risk putting a bit of Bitcoin Cash into owning a piece of renewable energy and hoping to get paid for 5 years, that's down to them. But
But that's the goal of Renew right now, is to show them that this concept can work, that we
Correct.
can be a company on top of Bitcoin Cash that can also be decentralized and all that, and bring freedom to people. And
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why should we restrict someone who's living in Thailand or someone who's living in Holland, for example? Why should we restrict them? We don't need to know where they're from. We just need to know that we've had a donation of Bitcoin Cash, and we've given them a token that
and what
represents
address we can send it back to. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, we give them a token that represents a watt. Very simple. We're excited to do it. We if there's repercussions, there's repercussions, but I can't see the repercussions. It's too small. It's not like it's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So what? Let's just do it, and at least then someone can write an article and write a video and say, actually, there is a real world asset actually on Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, there isn't at the moment.
No, there's not. I think. Have you talked with the AnyHedge guys, Nath?
Yeah. I've not spoken. I know a few of them that are working on that project. Also the Flipstarter guys as well. Again, people are very cautious of putting their name to something that could be classed as a security. And if these guys are based in the States, then they feel like they're under the firing power. Yeah.
And that's why I think AnyHedge might not have a good chance as Renew does with the dividend stuff, because of that coming up. They could be classified as a security, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at what Honk did with the as we all know, you go to fund.honk.io and you can pay Bitcoin Cash, and you release the SBS token to you. I mean, it's a great idea. There's no one kicking up any stink about it. I don't think they've reached their funding goal, but they're still developing fast and hard. But at the end of the day, you're only guaranteed a return on that if SBS's sports betting shares are actually producing a profit. Yeah. What we can offer right now is something tokenized that is actually producing an income.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just so far ahead of in the S.
I mean,
go ahead, Yoshi.
We are all using energy today, right? So the use case is very much there, much more than sports betting, just to name something, right? Not to break down on the SBS tokens.
No, not at all. No, I think it's a lot of people are committed to the SBS token.
The energy usage of the entire world is a real. Yeah, it's a real issue.
Renew could go global much quicker than SBS token could go global. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because people in India that don't have another way to invest their currency can now invest in the Renew token and get dividends while doing it. That's the goal, invest in future.
Yeah.
Electricity.
I think it's very
hopefully no one hopefully no one records this and says like you're using the word dividend. I would like to subtract and say the word dividend, we're going to come up with a way that doesn't sound too much like you're owning an equity. And here's your dividend payment. Yeah, we're cleverly worded. We're looking at the legalities on it, on how we can lay it down in best. Yeah, there's options, but someone's got to dig their toes in and have a go. Yeah.
That's true, and somebody has to be willing to take that risk. And you know, the risk today is, in my opinion, the laws that are being upheld are not uh, 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 they are not morally justified any longer. I mean, look at what we're doing today with the corona outbreak. It's completely ridiculous. It goes against, you know, there is no logic to it. You have to stand 2 meters or 6 feet away from each other, but then since today you are in the Netherlands at least allowed again to visit your grandmother in their own home and have the possibility of contaminating them, right? So there it just doesn't make sense anymore, and it's, yeah, in you know, I am breaking some laws by calling myself Yoshi Lipo, for example, by doing the things that I'm doing. But do I care? No. I mean, I'm hosting poker
It's
tournaments
small
today.
scale, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm
point.
hosting poker
It's
tournaments
small
every
scale.
hour, and officially in the country where I'm located, online gambling is illegal. They could come in my door and arrest me right now, and you know, I wish them good luck by doing so. But I'm gonna break these rules because they are breaking my moral judgment, right? I don't accept their way of interfering with my life any longer. That's why in the end I left the Netherlands and went to Liberland. So many people ask me, how can you leave your country, the Netherlands? It's almost as if you're in Liberland. Well, those people clearly have a wrong image of the Netherlands today, and it's our freedom is being taken from us in every way possible. For
Day
example,
after day.
the fact that we are talking about being allowed to give people this token if they give you another token.
Crazy.
What does what some old guy with a tie has to say about that? Right?
It's like saying, okay, look, I'm going to give this bottle of water here for this bottle here, yeah, and someone else, another third party, wants to get involved in that transaction and maybe give you a legal lawsuit and do away with your freedom in actually transacting. It's crazy. I personally, my personal stand is, I don't think that the hype of the punishments is actually real. Yeah, I think the ICO back in 2017 on Ethereum, the opportunity there to actually clamp down on people that were taking billions, loads of people got away with all sorts of things. We're talking about a few £1,000s, yeah, or £300,000. So
and that was them, right? They were running those
yeah,
ICOs.
they've got, surely the SEC and all the government agencies, as we know, they work very inefficient at ground level, but they're very blueprint focused at the top. Do they really care about this at the moment? There's enough going on.
Yeah, we're definitely not a concern at the moment. But once we scale up to those ICOs that are making 100 million, like the status token or whatever other ones were making millions, then we might be a significance to them, you know?
Yeah. I'm just going to go grab a beer.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee too in a second once he gets back. But
guys, let's call it a moment, because I'm gonna have the Kingdom of the Yellow Mountain representative in a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna have to round it up anyway. Let's wait until Ned get back, but then I'm gonna slowly end it.
For sure, Yoshi. It was good finally talking with you, bro.
Yeah, and hearing your voice.
It's been a couple
for
months.
Sure. Too bad I didn't see you yet, but it seems like
I don't know
entire
why.
Skype has crashed at the moment, Crypto Bro. So,
that's weird.
I have a white screen and that's it. That's okay.
Yeah, they were telling on Telegram, they were saying that it's very digital and the audio is not good, and I don't know what's going on. It was right when I came on too, so maybe it was something to do with me. I don't know. So who do you have on next? Do you have any other big people coming on? You said.
Yes. Well, big. What is big? Roger Ver is not coming. He was too busy. I have Didi Taihutu maybe coming.
Okay. You've had him on before, right?
Sorry?
TD, you've had him on?
Yeah, I had him on. I have, let's see, I have. So after you is going to be a delegation of the Kingdom of the Yellow Mountain, which is kind of a Liberland in Africa. Let's call it like that.
Oh, cool.
After that is coming Daniel Daybeck. He is the CEO of Safex. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh, Safe Exchange. Yeah. I've heard of Safe Exchange. Yeah, back in the day. They've been around a while.
Yeah, for sure. He's a great guy, great friend.
Cool.
He had a lot of updates last weekend, so he's gonna share with us all the updates on Safex. Then at 8 o'clock, the CEO of bitmymoney.com. This is all CET, right? So 8 o'clock is in 2 hours from now. CEO of bitmymoney.com, which is one of the only startups, crypto startups from the Netherlands that survived the new round of legislation in the Netherlands. Then delegation of EFL, Freedom Radio, and tonight the world's mine, Honk Honk token, and bitcoin.cash. So
wow, busy day for you.
Yeah, well, I am very glad to have all these people, because otherwise, who would keep me awake, right? But yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I'm filling up the time quite well, I think, and giving away some crypto in the meantime. Hopefully, making some crypto, and then we will see. We will see.
Sweet. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, bro. I'll be on again if you want. We can talk some conspiracy stuff or whatever you want.
Sure. Ned, I was just rounding off with Crypto Bro. I have the people of Yellow Mountain on the other line. I need to get rid of all these coronas in my stomach, and I need to smoke a cigarette. So I want to thank both of you for representing Renew Cash. I hope that whenever there's news, you will let me know about it, and we can do a chat like this again. I think it was great to hear the power behind it, and in that way, I want to say the fact that you don't let yourself be blackmailed with some scary nonsense from the government side, right? That you're willing to take the necessary steps to take it to the next level, even if that means sometimes to not 100% follow the law. Let's not say that you break it, but
there's no laws here in the UK.
No, exactly.
On that, yeah.
So I'm very excited for the future of renewable energy. I think in general,
Me too.
You know, if you are gonna start a crypto coin, then or a token or whatever, then why not one with purpose, right? And although I think that Honk serves a purpose and Spy serves a purpose, there is so much just money grabs, let's call it like that. And it sounds to me as if also with the two of you being here today that you really care about, you already have your business in that, Nate, right? And that also shows that this is your passion, and you're just finding new ways in new times to work with that, and that's great for me to hear. And I'm very proud to hand out all these renewable cash tokens in my raffle wheel. I will gladly continue doing that. And let's hear about it again. I will contact you somewhere in the future whenever I would like to, hear about it again. Let's say it like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Guys,
that's a bar for the second beer.
Hey, Nath, it was great talking and seeing you too, man. I'll talk to you soon, Nath, for sure.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks,
guys.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
Later. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.